Welcome to this week's episode of Our Community. I'm really excited about these two guests. We're going to rock and roll today. A call to action, I call this show. It's a program about the Victor Valley College. And the college is having some problems, as we know. And some people called, they had a call to action and want to address the problem. I have Dianna O'Malley-Carloni here, as well as Holly Noel. She's a master's degree in public administration and been living in the high desert since 1965.
Yes, I have.
I was but a twinkle in my father's eye back in the day. No,
I was close to that.
I wasn't.
But you know, exactly. Dianna, tell me about a call to action. I'm ready for you to get into this.
Victor Valley Community College has struggled for a number of years with leadership, and its leadership has been a little bit crippled by some contests on campus for power, and it's not unknown. And I, as a member of the foundation for the last 12 years, recently resigned to take the call of action, felt that frustration. And when I saw it occurring again with the process of accreditation, I, along with Holly and several other members of the community, said we have to urge the community to move forward and step up and tell our elected officials that now is the time to stop fooling around. Now is the time to get accreditation finished. Now is the time to get off of academic sanctions. Our college is a jewel in our community. There have been studies that show for every dollar invested in the college, we get $6 back in the community. It is time for us to step forward and start telling our elected officials, this is our voice. We want you to get the college off of academic sanction.
Mr. Noel, you have anything?
I think a lot of people don't realize that Victor Valley College is on probation. They were placed on probation by the Accrediting Commission of Community and Junior Colleges several years ago. And a finite amount of time is given to any college that receives this sanction to get themselves removed from sanctions and return to full accreditation. Victor Valley College is currently accredited, but they've got a finite amount of time. Their next time they need to make a progress report to the commission is going to be in October of this year, and it's going to be really important that they take that opportunity to get themselves off of probation and return to full accreditation without any sanctions.
I want to make clear, Giles, that the college is accredited, and when we say full accreditation, we're using full in its simplest term with a little f, because full accreditation for the community means without academic sanction. We don't want our degrees and our classes and our certificates to have any cloud of doubt because of an academic sanction. So that's why it's important to turn around from where we have been for over 5 years on some sort of academic sanction and attain that full with the little f, full.
This is a very big passion for us on our community show. You know, the college is the linchpin in the community. Jobs come here because of education. They want to see if you have a college in the area. So we have to have a college. That's not an option. You have to be squared away.
It's a huge economic development driver for the cities and for the professionals who bring new employers to our area. They want to know that there's a talented, educated, and viable workforce, and that's why programs at our college are so
Some of these statements that
Okay.
the call of action talked about. Bring accountability to the college. Talk a little bit more about that.
Well, we as taxpayers and voters, when we elect our board of trustees, we expect individuals who will step up into the governing position of the college and hold it accountable that it will spend the taxpayer dollars appropriately, that it will maintain and foster good policies to make sure we have the highest educational level, that we'll have facilities that meet the student needs, that we'll have enough classes, enough facilities, enough technology, enough state-of-the-art teaching methods and methodology to be able to meet those needs. We do have exceptional people at the college. We have great teachers. We have great programs. Why we are mired in some of this accreditation issue remains somewhat of a mystery, because we do have these great components. Why aren't we all working together as a fine-tuned machine? Mm-hmm. So when we hold the college accountable, we hold the college accountable for its planning, for its budget, to make sure that we're producing the highest level of classes and teaching and outcomes, so we have the best students. And when they graduate, they have a great degree that's well recognized.
I would also add that the amount of money that goes into this institution results in the great programs that Dianna spoke of. But there's a lot of tax dollars that we don't see accountability for, that the taxpayers aren't informed where that goes. Whenever there's a bond measure, whenever the foundation raises money, all of those dollars are accounted for. They're all transparent. They're all shared with the voters in this community. But there's a lot of tax dollars, Giles, that are being used that nobody has any idea where they go for. So part of the reason that Dianna and I got together to organize the call for action was to get the community to raise their voice collectively and to say to the Board of Trustees and to say to the leadership, we expect accountability. We expect you to manage the college efficiently and effectively, and to really let us know, where are those dollars going? They're your taxpayer dollars. And that's what we're asking the community to do, to stand up and to raise their voice and to say to the Board of Trustees and the leadership, we are expecting that you are going to deliver on the product that you promised us.
I have another quick comment here. What did the group mean by?
For too many years, Victor Valley Community College has been allowed to tread water in our community, to exist on taxpayer dollars, to deflect, defer, and disguise its problems and its lack of leadership.
So, very powerful statement. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I wanted to hear from you guys, where were you going with this one?
Oh, okay. In my over 11 years working with the College Foundation, we have experienced a lot of innovative and new ideas that the College Foundation can propose to the college because of its independence. And then we have often run into the quagmire of not being able to get programs adopted or things approved because of a crippled system. I call it a crippled system. Nonetheless, look at, for instance, the CEO of Penny's. I'm going to do it by example. Ron Johnson was recently terminated after 17 months. Why? He tried to impose a new marketing plan and a retail style, and after 17 months it failed. Okay, so now we have the college, and we brought in a president who came in as a vice president to cure our accreditation problem. That was specifically why he was hired. There was a newspaper article on that. And that was in 2008. And when he came in 2009, he wrote a glowing report. We were off of warning for a short period of time. They came back in 2011, and they didn't even say warning. They went right to probation. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. It didn't work. So after this amount of time, from 2008 to the present, we are worse than when we hired an individual to help get us off of probation. That kind of plan failed. And so we need to turn around now and say, why does it fail? When you look at the process of how you plan and adopt policy within our college, we have failed in some aspect. And I don't see that our trustees see it. I don't see that our trustees are putting forth strong objectives to allow that the college president and Senate and other groups on campus to follow, to make sure that we get into the accreditation status we need. So it's a little bit of, we need a plan, and we need a plan that's not going to be disguised or hidden, because if I ask the person on the street, what do you know about the accreditation process? What can they tell us? They can't tell us a thing. It was our efforts that forced that first Accreditation Live May 13th meeting that the faculty finally put on to show the public what they were doing. Absent the involvement of the community, we're not getting that information. It's disguised in and what we're doing and how good and we're progressing. But what are you really doing? We really want to know. We really want to help you get over the edge. We want the college to work together with the community because it's our college, it's our community. We should be working together.
To some extent, we found that as long as college students graduate, as long as folks are seeing people, churning out of there, as it were, they're okay with it. They kind of turn a blind eye to the question of transparency and accountability. Nobody ever seems to really care or to put pressure on the Board of Trustees or the leadership as long as we get a graduating class every year. But the crisis that we have here now is with accreditation as close as it is to the brink, there's a real distinct possibility in October that the Accreditation Commission may come back and say, you know what, you haven't gotten it together. We gave you a certain number of recommendations that you had to address and you didn't do it, and so now we're going to take a look at the possibility of shutting down the college. I, for one, having lived here all my entire life, cannot imagine that whole loss of the institution itself, the loss of the buildings, the millions of dollars that we've invested, and the loss of the opportunity to the children and the youth of our community to be able to live at home and to get a degree. So Dianna and I really felt it was important that we asked the community, you need to start demanding a little bit more of the college that you have right here in your presence, or you're going to lose it.
Now, there's been some recent things happening with our college president. If he's here or is he not, he's kind of going back and forth. Is he here now, or is he on leave, or do you have a clue?
Well, that is strictly a personnel matter for the college. What Dianna and I are trying to do is to say we need good leadership. For myself personally, a good leader needs to be there present, needs to be attending to the matter of business of the college. Accreditation and the issues related to that need to be the number one issue. And whatever leadership that takes, Dianna and I are not trying to say this is how you run the college.
Right.
That's not what this is about. What we're trying to say is someone needs to be running the college. That person needs to be a strong individual, and they need to be working with the Board of Trustees hand in hand, very close with one another, in order to direct the leadership and to direct the course of action so that we get to the point where we have no sanctions and that we are a fully accredited college.
Let me just touch on the subject too as to why what Holly says has great merit and why leadership is really a team effort on the part of all of the leaders, the administration, the faculty, the Board of Trustees on campus. Community colleges are governed by principles called shared governance. It's found in the Education Code. I believe the section is 70901, something like that, and it has regulations. And shared governance is the concept of everyone participating in making the best decision. By its very terms and by its very effect of participation, it suggests that the college leadership works as a team. The president is generally the team captain, but it doesn't matter who the team captain is because every member of the team, the Board of Trustees, the president's office, the president's cabinet, the faculty, the college council, which are all the people that work on the facilities and how we operate and how we make sure the lights are on and the doors are unlocked. And the part-time teachers and the full-time teachers, we're all part of a team, and they all in our shared governance policy have a role, and that in their role they discuss operational processes, they discuss the the academic programs, they discuss policies, and that all flows up to our Board of Trustees who makes the ultimate decisions. So one person being at the helm is great for the purpose of the title, but the efforts come as a team. So unity as a team, planning, and a singular focus is what we need to implement, which starts with the Board of Trustees.
I was saying, but I was kind of leaning toward the thought process that the president, as I understand it, was the head of the accreditation committee before. And I guess they hired him with the thought process, since he gave the report, he would know how to fix the situations, right? So that process didn't seem to work as well as it should have. And now we're left in a situation that we're being reactive. We basically, I thought this college just kind of hung their hat that this gentleman would be able to pull it off. And I'm not saying he is or is not, I would tell you that the job is most likely very complicated. Like you said, the team isn't really working together.
It's not in unison, you might say. I think it's working in unison now. I think we've had a few second chances, and this remaining second chance that has to be translated into a report in October, I think there is a very strong commitment on the part of everyone at the campus, and we can't, the public is supporting that and demanding that. It's demanding that, and I think that there has been some reaction to the demand suggesting that we in the public don't understand. So as a process of bringing understanding, we have taken documentation and facts and figures that came right out of the college website, and that's what we've been presenting to the public.
We have no doubt that everyone's working very hard, but just as in any position that you hold of employment, all of us realize hard work only gets you so far. What they really look at the end of the day is the end result. And so what we're asking in the call to action is, we know the college